Hey everyone, Nicola and Dr. K with Trimodus.com, and today we are talking fad diets. So we've got to ask you, have you ever been this person?
What are you eating right now?
Oh my god, Cam, Mary has lost so much weight doing carnivore, I have to try it. She's so skinny, she looks so good, her face looks good, and it's really good. I love it. So hard, like a really bacon? Like that?
I guess.
Let me make it better. Oh, here. Real good. Right?
Sweet nectar.
1 week later.
What are you doing? I thought you were like a carnivore or something.
If I have to eat another steak, I will die. Plus, Susan is doing vegan and she actually lost more weight than Mary did on carnivore, so I'm definitely vegan. Plus, look, I get to eat pasta every day. I love pasta.
Unbelievable.
A few moments later.
What do we got here? I thought you were like a plant-based vegan.
Yeah, no, I can't do that. I actually gained 5 pounds. Can you believe that? Friggin' Susie doesn't know what she's talking about.
So what's
But
this?
Jenny's been doing keto for like a month and she actually looks really good too. So I'm gonna just try it because I feel like, I love cheese and I like eggs and fat and stuff. So I'm just gonna eat like a bunch of potato chips and like eggs and stuff. I don't know. I think I'll lose weight.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. So did you guys relate to that? See, we see a lot of people getting into fad diets, and the issue with fad diets is that it's not really going to benefit you long term because they're unsustainable. You can't keep up that habit for long periods of time. And what ends up happening is that it starts to burn out your metabolism and it starts to lead to long-term effects, and that's where yo-yo dieting comes into play. It increases your metabolism, decreases it, and then you can't burn off that fuel when in the future. So that's the issue with fad diets.
Absolutely, Dr. K is so right. You guys, the body thrives on consistency and quality, especially when we're talking about food. And if we're doing yo-yo dieting or fad diets every other week, our body doesn't have the ability to stay consistent. We're high protein one day, low carb the next, high fat another week later. The body just can't keep up. And that's where we see a lot of blood sugar regulations, right? Those high peaks and then those crashes, and we're tired by 2 p.m. in the afternoon, or we get stomach aches or bloating because we've got gut dysfunction now. Well, all of this then leads into chronic disease that we're seeing become an epidemic here in the US. That's type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and then autoimmune issues. So really guys, the focus today out of this video that I want you to understand is we are all different. How are we all different, Doc?
In so many ways, but when it comes to nutrition, we all can tolerate certain macronutrients, so protein, carbohydrates, and fats. And some people do really well with fat, and that's why they love keto-based diets. But others actually do quite well with carbohydrate, but we still need fat. So you have to have a balance, and it's all dependent on your genes and how you feel. So you have to make sure that you're kind of understanding how you're feeling, and that's why we're all different, and that's why some people do well on certain diets, but your best friend doesn't. Right?
Absolutely. And the term he's kind of talking about, they've coined it bio-individuality. And so the concept behind that is we are all different. So what works for Dr. K may not work for me, and vice versa. We're a perfect example of why bio-individuality is so important. I do really, really well with a high fat. If I have a good, healthy amount of fat in my diet and a lower amount of carbs, I feel good, my energy level's really good, whereas his energy levels do better with carbohydrate, heavier diet, and a lower fat. And all of that plays a big role. Yeah. What is the one thing that the first thing we ask patients to do to kind of get a better understanding of maybe what foods work best for them?
You gotta do like a little food and mood journal. Nicole loves that. And the reason why is that you really need to understand if you're feeling a certain way after you're eating a certain food. And so the issue with that is that if you're feeling kind of lousy after the food, that doesn't make it normal. It's just common. A lot of people are feeling kind of lousy after they eat something, but that doesn't mean it doesn't make it right. So that's where we really have to understand what you're eating and how you're feeling after, which will then dictate what our diet should look like moving forward, right?
Yeah, not to mention weight loss. Hello, that's what we're here to talk about. We want to lose weight. So with that, we have to know what works for our body. There's one thing to do a fad diet, lose 5 pounds, and then a month later you're that same weight again, or maybe heavier.
Yeah.
The goal with bio-individuality is a lifestyle change. Eating the foods that fuel your body, keep the weight off, and keep you happy and energized. So if you're cool with it, I'd love to share just what a plate of food should look like in this bio-individuality world. Are you cool with that?
Sure, yeah. Let's whip it out.
You know, just happen to whip it up right here.
Boom.
All right, you guys, so macronutrients is something he touched on, but basically macronutrients are our energy sources. What are our 3 macronutrients that we need, Doc?
So we got fats, carbohydrates, and protein.
Perfect.
Big ones.
Yep, and they all play a big role in our building blocks, our cell development, our energy levels, our digestion, everything. They're very, very important, guys, and we need them to survive. So here I wanted to show you what a plate of good, healthy, whole foods, because we want to stick to more whole food based diet. Our body does feed off of that because all of these things have additional micronutrients in them that fuel our body more than a bag of potato chips that is just processed kind of garbage, no nutrient value whatsoever. So if I were eating a whole food, bio-individual diet, I want to always make sure I have all 3 macronutrients on my plate. So here I have my protein, which is some chicken thighs. They actually double as a little bit of a fat, right? There's some good healthy fats in that chicken thigh. And then I have my sweet potato, which is what, Doc?
The carbohydrate.
Absolutely, and it's a complex, slow burning carbohydrate, which is really, really good for us. And then I have some veggies that are gonna be additional carbohydrates, but they're gonna source a lot of our micronutrients, so our vitamins and our minerals. And then of course, because I personally feel that fat makes everything taste better, I douse these bad boys in some ghee. So we've got some fat, some more healthy fat there on this plate. So again, we have protein and fat from the chicken thighs, our carbohydrate from the sweet potato, a little bit more carbohydrates from our veggies, but also micronutrients, plus that ghee, that healthy fat that's sitting on top of those. This is a well-rounded, fuel-packed, nutrient-dense meal that's gonna keep you full, energized, and sustained. And not only that, but the most important part, right, ladies, especially, weight off. So that's what we want to do, right?
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add? I mean, I feel
This
like...
is beautiful. No.
So just starting points, right? This would be your starting point. The 2 takeaways from this video: 1, really do a food and mood journal. Find out what works for you. For me, I eat a piece of bread, I'm bloated, I have brain fog, I feel like crap.
Yeah.
That's an indication that bread doesn't sit well with me. Okay, so that would be 1 step. Food and mood journal, really collect the data, it's super important. And then slowly start making sure that you have all 3 macronutrients on your plate. When you go down, sit down to eat at a restaurant or at home and you're making food, is that a protein? Is that a carb? Is that a fat? Do I have all 3? Because they work together to keep weight off. And then lastly, of course, eating a whole food diet.
Whole foods, baby.
Whole foods.
Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like us and comment below if you have any questions. Don't forget to move to a better you.